Hello and welcome to the final E3 2015 conference video. I might do an overall opinions on how E3 went, who won, that sort of thing, but this is the last video about a specific conference, and of course the PC gaming show. And of course this was the very first PC gaming show at E3, and I think there's definitely room for improvement. There was a bit too much talking, not enough action. It went on for about 2.5 hours, and there wasn't a huge amount revealed, but I will go through what was, of course. Now, we did have a reveal, sorry. It is 4:30 in the morning, so do forgive me for being a bit mushy-mouthed. We had a reveal from Tripwire for Rising Storm 2. Next up on the stage was the guys for Deus Ex, and they showed off the Dawn engine, which of course is what Deus Ex is going to be using. Lots of detail in the graphics, global illumination, tress effects, parallax occlusion mapping, screen space affection, volumetric lighting, and all sorts of special shinies. Now, tress effects is going to be for Adam's beard as well as his hair, which is going to be interesting. Now, Phil Spencer made a very brief appearance, didn't really have too much to discuss, to be honest, other than to say that Killer Instinct will be on the PC, which is pretty awesome, and went on to discuss a little bit about why they decided on the free upgrade for Windows 10, and of course DX12 being available to everybody. It was, of course, designed for gamers, but also mostly for developers as well, knowing that if they want to release on Xbox, if they want to release on PC, it's going to be the same API, and given that it's free, they can count on a lot of people having access to DX12. Next up was a rather surprising announcement which made me smile, and that's going to be Gears of War Ultimate Edition confirmed for the PC, as well as a rather amusing reveal of American Truck Simulator as well. But still, Gears of War on PC? Yes, please. Next up was Dean Hall to talk a little bit about Ion, which is his new title coming to early access. Will have a Diablo-style camera, and apparently has realistic organ simulation to the point where apparently there's a bug at the moment where when you click on someone, their organs fall out, which made me laugh. And there was the guys from Strafe to come on, talked a little bit how the procedural generation actually works. You have the rooms being handcrafted, but of course the actual layout will be procedural. Each monster will have different behaviours with persistent gore, and when you run out you can actually just use your gun as a club to beat people around the head with. Next up was an expansion for Pillars of Eternity by the name of The White March, which will include a higher level cap, new abilities and companions, and is the first part of an expansion. Next up was a reveal from the Elite Dangerous developers by the name of Planet Coaster, which definitely gave me the Roller Coaster Tycoon vibes, which is a very positive vibe to have. Next up was Gears of War 2, that being of course ArenaNet, to talk about their Heart of Thorns expansion and the Guild Halls feature, which basically unlocks new features with guild buildings. You can decorate the hall, there's even an arena to brawl in, you can build all sorts of buildings within the hall, you can build tools to use in World vs. Worlds. Of course, you have to actually fight to capture this particular guild. It's not just, hey, it's there for the taking, there are of course enemies living in it, and you have to come and capture it and take it for your own. Next up came Lisa Su from AMD, and she spoke about the R9 Fury X and the R9 Nano, which my partner in crime Crimson Rain has already discussed in another video, so do check that video out if you wish to get the full skinny on that particular one. But they also had a rather nice announcement of a 16 T-flop gaming system with 2 Fiji GPUs inside that was actually running the VR demo at E3, and they did show off the dual Fiji GPU card. Next up was Arma 3, the new expansion with the name of Tanoa, which is going to be hopefully for the first half of 2016. DayZ also made an appearance with 3 new vehicles, and the resources for them are going to be added, and they're going to be aiming for a feature complete beta this year in about damn time as well. They're going to be having single player with mod support of course, and they're going to be releasing a tool for you to have your own server as well. Now, Cliffy B appeared briefly to talk about his 5 vs 5 multiplayer FPS at Project Blue Streak, which he didn't really discuss too much details on. All he really said was that it was easy to learn, hard to master. Now to wrap up the show, we had Blizzard talking about a Heroes of the Storm expansion by the name of Eternal Conflict with new heroes, battlegrounds, and the Treasure Goblin for some free gold at the start, coming out on June the 30th. Now, one of the new heroes was King Leoric, who basically turns into a Wraith on death, and you can't damage people as the Wraith, but when you attack people, it actually it speeds up your death timer. And you can actually kind of cast slow and things like that on the battlefield, and when you have your death timer actually run out, you spawn in the Wraith location. So basically you just resume exactly where you left off. Now, StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, made a brief appearance. They did say there'd be more information coming about a month's time, so definitely looking forward to that. They did confirm a July 2015 beta. That's obviously open beta, as there's a closed beta running right now. And they also made an interesting announcement of three prologue missions which connects Heart of the Swarm to Legacy of the Void and will feature Zeratul. And those are actually going to be free, regardless of whether you bought Legacy of the Void or not. If you want early access, you do have to pre-order. So, that's pretty much it, apart from a really awesome announcement. This has been speculated on for ages, but it was confirmed. No Man's Sky will be coming to the PC. So that's everything. And it took them 2.5 hours to discuss that. And yes, I'm very much not going into huge amounts of detail, but there was a huge amount of detail to discuss. I really enjoyed the PC gaming show. I just thought it went on way too long and there was way too much talking. There's definitely some streamlining that needs to be done for next year, but I'm looking forward to it for next year. I think we definitely need to see it return. Good job to Day 9 for a fantastic job as host, and of course all the games shown looked awesome. I would have wished for more Legacy of the Void, but hey ho, what are you going to do? Anyway, that's me done. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.